The show opens with the intro video, and Judgment Day makes their entrance and gets on the mic. Balor said at Extreme Rules, he's going to act as the cruel hand of fate that reminds Edge that he doesn't belong anywhere near any ring he stands in. Then Damien Priest calls out AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio, and Balor says he chose not to end AJ's career last week because he's his friend and the olive branch is still extended. Then AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio run down and lay the heels out before the bell, and then we saw a tag team match between AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day, Damien Priest and Finn Balor, and the result of this match was Judgment Day win by pinfall with coup de grace from Finn Balor on AJ Styles. Post-match, AJ Styles berates Rey Mysterio for not being there to save him and shoves the legend to the mat. Judgment Day blindsides AJ and beats him down, Finn Balor ranting about being his friend while he punches him in the face, and then Damien Priest hits South of Heaven. Then backstage we saw that Mustafa Ali confronted Bobby Lashley during the interview, and he asked for a title match against Lashley, and Lashley gave him the match. Back from the commercial, Sami Zayn is excitedly telling a story about a dog and a fire extinguisher to a cackling Jimmy Uso while Solo Sikoa tries to keep his face mean. They roll up on the Street Profits and Sami tells them to be prepared to acknowledge their tribal chief. Then Montez Ford tells them they don't own the arena, and the Bloodline needs to acknowledge these. Angelo Dawkins cuts him off and Jay threatens to give Ford another boot to match his walking boot. Angelo threatens him, Solo steps up and Dawkins challenges him to a match. Then we saw a match between Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali, and the result of this match was Bobby Lashley won by referee stoppage with the Hurt Lock, and post-match Seth Rollins attacked on both Mustafa Ali and Bobby Lashley. Back from the commercial, Seth Rollins is still in the ring, dancing to his own music. He gets on the mic and says that since we've disposed of Bobby Trashley, it's time for Monday Night Rollins, and gives himself a big introduction before talking about his match at Extreme Rules and tossing to a video package about the fight pit. Riddle comes and he says he's not just going to fight him and beat him, he's gonna kill him on Saturday, and Daniel Cormier will raise his hand in victory and the fans will sing for him. Matt asks when the last time Seth held a title was, and the last time he challenged for a title, Roman choked his ass out, and further he's never main event WrestleMania, but his wife Becky Lynch has. They scream at each other more and Daniel Cormier appears on the Tron, and he introduces himself as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time and says he and Riddle go way back and he respects that. Seth knows he's always admired him and he celebrated when he won his first world title, but he's fed up. He lives in the cage, he loves it, and there can't be any old referee, and that's why they called old DC to make sure it goes right, and he'll see them both in Philadelphia. Then we saw a match between Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai, and the result of this match was Dakota Kai won by pinfall with a bridging folding press. Then we saw a match between Johnny Gargano versus Otis Dozovic, and the result of this match was Otis Dozovic won by pinfall with a world's strongest slam. Then we saw a match between Braun Strowman versus Chad Gable, and the result of this match was Braun Strowman won by pinfall with a powerbomb. Corey Graves is in the ring to preside over the contract signing for the Raw Women's Championship match at Extreme Rules. Bayley makes her entrance, followed shortly after by Bianca Belair, and Bayley asks if she feels safe and says she feels pretty good despite her girls not being out here and everything's been going to plan, and she signs the contract. She continues, saying she thinks big picture, and she's had to literally climb and climb and climb to try and get to the top. Bianca says Bayley keeps running her mouth over and over again and she's got a chip on her shoulder that has nothing to do with her. But since Bayley likes planning, she can plan on still calling her the Raw Women's Champion. Bayley asks how her girls are doing and we cut to them beating Asuka and Alexa Bliss up backstage. Bianca runs back to make the save and pries the chair off Asuka's knee. A furious Alexa Bliss fumes and calls Io Sky out for a match tonight. Then we saw a match between Angelo Dawkins versus Solo Sikoa, and the result of this match was Solo Sikoa won the match by pinfall with spinning Solo. Then we saw a video package of Edge, and in that video, he mentioned it's his fault Judgment Day even exists, and he knows what he has to do when his back's against the wall. He has to be a one-man gang, and there's no way he'll be made to say he quits. In the main event, we saw a match between Alexa Bliss versus Io Sky, and the result of this match was Io Sky wins by pinfall with the moonsault. Post-match, we saw a brawl between both teams, and Damage Control climb the ladder and hold all three titles high, and the show goes off air.